Welcome back to the podcast, and today we're talking about the fact that no one told us that exercise matters very little when it comes to weight loss.
And today we're going to be speaking about specifically, there's four main reasons why we don't exclusively focus on exercise for our weight loss clients.
The first reason is that focusing on exercise takes the focus off things that matter much more, like eating habits and mindset.
Yeah, so obviously when it comes to losing weight, there's usually two schools of thought with a lot of programs. There's the exercise side of things, and then there's the nutrition. And for a lot of people, the exercise side of it is a lower barrier to entry. It's an easier thing to do and to focus on. So a lot of people jump on that side of it and they go all in on the exercise side of things at the expense of the nutrition side of things.
Yes, and what tends to happen is when people do that, they feel like, well, I'm exercising so hard and I'm just not seeing the results that I should be seeing from all this exercise I'm doing. And this is something that I've personally dealt with as well in the past. Is I was a big exerciser and I would do, hours per day. I would do running, I would do CrossFit, I would do all these kinds of workouts and really intense workouts as well. And I felt like I'm doing all these workouts and I'm eating hardly anything. Hardly anything. And why aren't I seeing these results, right? The reason why is because as humans, and all of us have this issue, is we tend to overestimate how many calories we burn from an exercise session. And we underestimate how much food we eat. And this is just like, if it's not being written down specifically on paper and measured scientifically, we cannot estimate it. It's just something that's been shown in study after study that humans are usually wrong about how many calories they burn and how many calories they eat, which is why it's really easy for us to feel like we're doing all this stuff. But the reality is that if you're not losing weight, it means that you're eating more food than your body needs to maintain that current activity level.
That's right. And I mean, I can relate to that too. I had an experience when I was younger. And when I first got into training really serious, my goals revolved around trying to get as lean as I could. And obviously when you get lean, you have to lose body fat. And I conceptually knew about there's obviously you need to look at the nutrition side of things, and you also need to address the training side of things, to have muscle and strength there as well. But for me, the mindset was the nutrition stuff was really complicated, and it seemed like there was just too much to do there. So I thought, well, the easier thing for me to do is just focus on the exercise thing. And I fell into that lull of trying to think that, obviously the more exercise I do will make up for the eating side of things.
Yeah, that's definitely something as well for me. Eating has always been my challenge. Eating, emotional eating, emotional snacking, always wanting to sort of eat food when I'm feeling uncomfortable, or when I'm wanting to relax, or when I'm wanting to celebrate, or whatever it is. And so the problem I had was I was trying to work out as much as I could, and I was also trying to eat as little as I could. And what was happening there was that I wasn't addressing the actual problem with the food. I was just trying to exercise more to make up for the extra snacks that I was just throwing in there and not really paying attention to. Or, I'd have a healthy meal, but I would eat past the point of satisfied, which means that I'm overeating essentially. And working out is never going to make up for overeating for very long. The thing is, people can get away with it for a little bit. When you first start exercising, or you first start eating less, you get results pretty quick sometimes. And often people think, oh, well, I'm seeing results, that must have been the exercise that I'm doing. Oh, yay, I'll keep exercising. And I think that they start to forget what really matters, or not really know what matters.
No, that's right. And it's the same if you even go the other way, when someone starts with strength training, for example, and they're trying to gain weight, much the same thing. In the beginning, they do get a lot of quick results early on, because they've just changed from what they're doing as their baseline. So if your baseline is you're not very active and you're just eating a set amount of food, and you might be feeling, you want to lose weight, anything that you do that changes that equation is going to have a pretty quick result. And obviously, if we increase the amount of exercise we do, and we do like maybe one session as our baseline, if we then start exercising every day, that's going to create a difference, and we're going to see that. But it's a very short-term result because it never really carries on long-term with us, and we fall into this trap of thinking that, we've got to just try and start to add more and more on top of that.
The second reason is that exercise is really only 4% of your day. Or if you do a 1 hour workout, that's 4% of a 24-hour day. Or if you do a 1 hour workout every single day, it's only 4% of your week.
And when you think about it, 4% is a really, really small amount. It's really not going to make or break the difference between you getting results versus you not getting results. If we think about 1 hour out of our day, or if we do a workout every single day, 1 hour per day, every day of the week, it's really a small amount that we're leaving that other 96% up to chance if we're not focusing on those things.
Yeah. And I think that a lot of people, and myself included, it feels like that 1 hour that we work out, we worked really damn hard.
Yeah.
We are sweating, we're sore, we're like going to town on this workout, and it feels like, wow, this is going to matter. And realistically, in the grand scheme of weight loss over an entire week, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. Because 96% of the time, while you're going about your everyday life and you're sleeping and you're at work and you're with the family or you're out doing whatever, that's the time that makes much more of a difference to your results. And a lot of the time people can think, oh, well, it must have been the workouts I did. I worked really hard. It must have been the workouts that gave me this result. And the truth is, probably wasn't. Your results came from what you did the rest of the week. And so it's going to serve you better long term to have a look at, well, what did I do this week? Why did I really get those results? Because it's unlikely to be the exercise.
Yeah, and for a lot of people, that's exactly right. The 96%, like everything else you're doing outside of that workout, means more. But in saying that, there's probably some people that are listening to this and go, well, I exercise more than an hour every single day. Or you fall into the trap of, and this is what I did, this is why I can talk about it, of thinking, well, all right, maybe I'll change those statistics or those percentages to work in my favor. If it's only 4% for a 1 hour workout, if I do 2 workouts every single day, then it's 8%. Then it gives me more of a boost.
Still only 8% though.
But a lot of people do fall into that trap, and that becomes like the exercise trap. They're constantly trying to add more and more and more on top of it. I was one of them. I would go to the gym first thing in the morning and I'd be doing a weight session, and that was for an hour. And then I would go throughout my day, and then I'd come back to the gym in the afternoon to do another full hour of training, thinking that doing more, just increasing the amount that I was doing, was going to somehow miraculously get me the results that I wanted. And it didn't.
The third thing is that focusing on exercise encourages us to exercise for the wrong reasons, right? And again, I did this in a big way, is like I would exercise for the reason of changing physically. I didn't pay any attention to all the other incredible health benefits, of which there are many, right? It might sound like we're saying, oh, don't bother exercising for weight loss, it doesn't do anything. But it's like, yeah, don't exercise for weight loss. Exercise for all these other reasons that are amazing, like feeling good, mental focus and clarity, like getting stronger muscles, like feeling flexible, feeling cardio fit, like having healthy lungs and not having to breathe heavy all the time, feeling lighter on your feet, going after challenges that physically challenge you just because you want to challenge yourself and grow and like enjoy the process of learning how to run or learning how to lift weights or competing in a competition, just because like as humans, we like to grow and we like personal growth, and it doesn't have to be about oh, I'm going to get lean or I'm going to lose weight. Because what that does is it makes us focus on, well, if I'm not losing weight, I may as well not even bother exercising. When you're not seeing results, your motivation is gone. It's shot because your motivation is coming from the wrong place. And, people who tend to exercise for weight loss or for looks primarily are people who tend to complain about not feeling motivated. And they're people who tend to quit exercise much sooner. I was one of those people. Because I pretty much spent so many years exercising for the majority reason was to change my physical body. When I got tired of that, I had nothing left to exercise for. And I just stopped exercising completely. It became too hard. It was I can't do this anymore. I'm pushing too hard. I wasn't exercising a ridiculous amount, but the problem was my motivation was in the wrong spot. Whereas now, when I've restarted my exercise process again, essentially, I've built up really, really slowly. So we started off with 20-minute walks, and we've built that up over multiple years. I didn't start with strength training. I slowly added that back in, and I slowly started adding in cycling classes with Peloton, which I really love. And that's the key. Now I look forward to my workouts, and it's a fun part of my day. It makes me feel good. It boosts my energy. It helps with my flexibility. It helps with my cardio fitness. We go on walks together, so it's a fun thing we can do together. None of it has to do with I'm exercising to lose weight. And that's why right now the routine I've got feels really sustainable. And it feels like this is actually improving my life. I'm doing this for myself, not for an external result. And I feel like that is everything.
Yeah. And it's very true. If you're a person who is feeling like they're sort of stuck in this exercise trap, they're using exercise as a way that it's the only way that they can think of to manage their weight. If that is you, understand that it's not your fault. And the reason behind that is because, I can shed some light on this. When I went through my certification process as a personal trainer, they taught us that exercise was needed to lose weight.
Yeah.
And they didn't really tell you much about other than just exercise, at this intensity, at this heart rate, make sure it's this many times a week. And then they spoke a little bit about nutrition, but they didn't really share the major importance that had. And then when I got a job in a gym, working there as a freshly certified personal trainer, I thought, this is great. I'll just get people exercising more, and it's going to help them lose weight. And I would watch time and time again. I'd be sitting there, it'd be 7 p.m. The gym was starting to get a little bit quieter. You get the same people coming in day after day, and they'd go straight to the cardio machine. They'd get on the treadmill and they'd slave away for about an hour and a half, sweating up a storm. They'd have a beach towel with them and absolutely looking like they hated their life every single day. And it was depressing, honestly, watching these people come in and think that this was the only ticket that they had to lose the weight for good. And they would do it day after day after day. And talking to these people, and you're saying how's your day been, and this and that, and they were like, I've got to come in and I've got to put in my hour and a half of walking on the treadmill or running on the treadmill. It just seemed like a chore.
Yeah.
It didn't seem fun at all.
And you can really tell the difference if someone's enjoying themselves in their workout versus if someone is just there to tick it off the to-do list.
Yeah.
And it really is, not every day is great, and you don't look forward to your workout every single day, but your major reasons are the difference between doing it for a few months and then quitting versus doing this for the rest of your life because it's just what you do.
Yeah. And I feel like there's a very fine line with a lot of people. That's not to say that, some people don't enjoy exercise. I'm tipping if you're listening to this, there is some elements of it that you do enjoy, and it makes you feel good.
If you enjoy it, that's a good reason to do it.
Yeah. But right? a lot of people tend to just go beyond, they cross that line, and it flips over from something they enjoy to something that's a chore.
Yeah.
Like everyone, funny example, everyone could enjoy, unpacking the dishes or washing the dishes with their kids at night, if they made it a game.
Yeah.
But the more often that you have to do it, and the more you tell yourself, I hate doing this,
Yeah.
it becomes a chore. And then it's something that you really don't look forward to.
Yeah.
And it feels like a grind. It feels really tough. And that's what happens with exercise. And that's the trap that we see a lot of people fall into when exercise is pushed as the primary driver.
And I think another thing on that point as well is that when weight loss is concerned, people tend to push certain types of exercise, and not everyone's going to love every type of exercise. So people tend to push like running and hardcore boot camps and stuff like that to lose weight. And if you don't enjoy those types of exercise, you're going to associate exercise equals shit.
Yeah.
Whereas like you could really enjoy cycling, or maybe you really love yoga, or maybe you love to just lift weights and feel strong.
Or even just go for a walk.
Or just walking.
Yeah.
Or like swimming, or whatever it is. Like the problem is that when we think, oh, I have to do this to lose weight, we think, well, I have to then go all out and do this hardcore calorie burner. When that's not really what matters. It always comes back to how are your eating habits?
Yeah.
How much are you eating? If you're not losing weight, the plain and simple answer is you're eating more than your body needs. Bottom line, not that you're not exercising enough. It always comes back to the food. So the fourth reason is that there are diminishing returns with exercise. And basically that means that over time, our body gets used to how much exercise we're doing, and we have to keep doing more. So 1 hour workout turns into 2 hours. It turns into, I have to keep going. I have to do more. I have to go harder. I have to push harder. I have to burn more calories. And it's just this endless thing. And usually what happens is you don't just keep increasing exercise and then, I just lose weight. Usually what happens is you increase the exercise and then either you get really hungry, or you increase the exercise and you get injured because it's overuse now. You've gone too far. You're doing too much exercise and not enough recovery. So it tends not to be a great sustainable strategy for that reason.
I mean, I see it quite often. A lot of people will do things like HIIT classes, and it's very, like, obviously it's high intensity. It's very high impact as well. And that's the problem. And when they fall into this trap of, doing more and more and more because they're not addressing the nutrition side, so therefore they try to add more sessions on top.
Yeah.
Your body can only handle so much. It's the same as, going the other way and trying to put on muscle and build strength. Like, you can't go in and absolutely kill your body every single day and expect that to work. Like, things are going to start to break down.
Yeah.
It's the same with doing HIIT classes. If we're doing them every single day, it's just beating ourselves up. Like, no doubt, if you are into those classes, no doubt you've had things like ankle pain, maybe knee pain at some point. And if you haven't had it yet, maybe that's, something that might come up for you if we're not addressing all the other things outside of it.
Well, another thing is just general fatigue and, higher levels of stress. Because like exercise can help with stress reduction up to a point. And then it goes back the other way. And too much exercise causes extra stress and extra inflammation in the body. Whereas like, up to a point, it's like doing good. Okay, we've hit the point of enough. Okay, it's too much now, too much. And it starts going down again and having negative impacts on our life. And this reminds me of back when I used to do CrossFit. When I first started CrossFit, I was doing it every single day, really intense weights and cardio mixed together, in addition to my own running on the side. I was sore 24/7. 24/7 I had sore muscles. 24/7 I was battling issues with fatigue and high stress levels. And my life was not very stressful. I was at university. And basically, like, I would just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. At the same time, I was getting hungry more often, and trying to suppress that because I didn't want to eat too much so that it would like ruin my results. And it just was not a great time. I couldn't sustain that. No way. And I didn't feel good. Like, at the moment, I'm doing way less than I was then. I think I love exercise so much more at the moment, just because it's like a source of pure joy.
Yeah.
Like, at the moment, I do a lot of like Peloton classes, and like, I love those classes. Like, they are so much fun. And I look forward to doing it. You know, yeah, I used to like look forward to a workout, but I never felt like amazing after the workout the way that I do at the moment, when it's like my reason for working out is not to look a certain way, it is to feel a certain way.
Yeah.
And it's almost like that, like, what you want to get out of it is what you will get out of it. Like, if you go into it thinking, oh, this is shit, I just need to get it over with, at the end, that's probably how you're going to feel. Great, that's done, what's next? There's no like accomplishment there.
Yeah.
Or no like joy. Just like, wow, I really love moving my body. Like,
yeah,
this is fun.
You start
like
to fall into that trap of just ticking boxes.
Yes.
You know, you're just doing the workout for the sake of losing weight. And you're so right. Like, I think all of us have got a CrossFit story.
Yes.
At some point in time, you know I have, and I used to see a lot of people doing the same thing. That they come into the gym and they're just flogging themselves day after day, and you know, they were pulling up with injury after injury. They're always battling something.
Yeah, they're usually the first people as well to come up to you and be like, oh, you know, just really not seeing results. And it's like, man, you're here for 2 hours every day of the week.
Yeah.
And you're not seeing results. Like, surely you're sort of putting 2 and 2 together there, that maybe we need to start looking in a different area other than exercise, because like you're doing a lot of exercise.
Yeah. But again, like, you know, if you're listening to this and you are in this situation, like, again, remember that not all of it is your fault.
Well, we've both been there. And the thing is, I think you need to go through it to come out the other side.
That's right.
It's a learning experience.
Because as trainers, you know, you're not actually taught a lot of the stuff that really moves the needle. You're taught a lot of tactics, and it's put the emphasis on, you know, either controlling the food, aka, you know, counting your calories and things like that, or it's controlling the exercise and just ramping that up to a hilt.
And neither of those are solving the real problem, which comes down to our emotions and the way that we eat, our relationship with food.
It's the way we process thoughts,
and
really.
the amount of food that we eat.
Yeah.
Which is driven by our thoughts.
That's right. and the thoughts can go the same way with exercise, as we've been talking about. Like, if you're looking at it through the lens of, like, it's a chore, it's never going to feel fun. And
I have to do this workout versus, like, how amazing is it that I get to work out today?
Yeah.
Like, I have a functioning body, and I get to choose to like spend this hour for myself, where all I'm doing is working on myself, and I'm doing something good for me that I'm going to feel grateful that I did later on.
That's right. So the moral of the story of what we've unpacked today, because we've unpacked quite a lot, is that exercise shouldn't be the first point of call if you are trying to lose weight. That, you know, it is important for reasons outside of obviously trying to lose weight. It'll give you so many benefits.
Yeah.
But if you are absolutely laboring away over doing exercise sessions every day and you feel like you're killing yourself a bit, know that most of it's probably not your fault. You're probably being fed that that's the way. And unfortunately, that's not how it works.
Yeah. It's time to address the eating habits. Even though that may be a little bit more uncomfortable in the beginning, it's going to be 1,000 times worth it.
So thanks for listening, guys. We hope that this podcast was really helpful for you. We hope you got some takeaway points from this. And we will see you and speak to you next time.
Bye.
See ya.